Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Good evening and welcome to Ways Primetime. My name is Choma Carlos. So tonight, we begin with, some developments shaking Nigeria's federal cabinet. The Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Naji, has resigned following damning allegations of certificate forgery involving his university degree, and his NYSC discharge certificate. Now, according to reports, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka UNN, has denied ever awarding him the degree he claimed, while the National Youth Service Corps, that's NYSC, also says the certificate he presented cannot be verified. The revelations have sparked public outrage, questions over due diligence in government appointments, and renewed calls for greater accountability amongst public office holders. Now, Mr. Naji had approached the court seeking to stop UNN and other institutions from releasing his academic records, but his request was denied. Now, days later, under mounting pressure, of course, he tenders his resignation letter, a move some of us have described as honorable, while some others, say it's only the beginning of deeper investigations. So, tonight we're asking, how did a scandal of this magnitude, how did it slip through the cracks of government vetting processes? And what does it say about Nigeria, when it comes to credibility in the corridors of power? Now, remember, Ways is all about you, as you are the why in Ways. So be a part of the conversation every single day and add your voice to the discussions. Head on now to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and invite your friends and family to the show now. And, our phone lines will be open very soon. And that's only because I want to hear your insights, because this is becoming a repeated pattern. Our dearest president had his own saga, I think it was last year, where, you graduated from university in Chicago, you did not graduate from the university in Chicago. I took my time to look up some of the people that, Nigerian politicians, that have had sagas, controversies surrounding, their qualifications, certificates. And my first person on my list is Adams Oshomole. Now, he says he has faced long-standing allegations concerning authenticity of his primary and secondary school credentials. Now, he said that he attended Iyamo Primary School, in Edo State, of course, from 1957 to 1962. But in contrast, records from the Edo State Ministry of Education, listen up guys, indicates that Iyamo Primary School was founded in 1963, a year after our said former governor of Edo State graduated, allegedly, supposedly graduated from the school. So we're asking, at what point did you attend this school? Did you attend it when they were still thinking about it? We also have Ayodele Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State. He brought his HC's HND, call it higher national diploma, you know. There's just been controversies around it saying, oh, this is fake, this is not fake. There is some other person, Stella Odwai. She's a former senator, right? She came and said, oh, she attended one school in Virginia, in the USA. But then, according to reports from the Sahara Reporters, yeah, it was actually found out that this result was fabricated. There's Kemi Adeosun, who served as Nigeria's Minister of Finance from 2015 to 2018. And the NYSC exemption letter, because she schooled abroad, that she presented was obviously fake. And she said, oh, I did not know. So it begs the question, how do we vet these people? How? Like I said, it's become a repeated pattern. Anyway, just before we go any further, here is a quote for the day for you to ponder on. It says, leadership is not about titles or positions. It's about truth, trust, and responsibility. And this was said by Simon Sinek. We'll go much deeper into this discourse because, yes, it's something we can't, turn a blind eye on anymore because it's really staining the reputation of Nigeria. But before we get into it, we're going to go on a quick break. And when we come back, I'll take you through my news interest for the day. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Ways, and today we're talking about credentials in the political field and how people are forging their credentials. But before we get into that discourse, here are a few stories that caught my interest today. So the first one I have says, Senate seeks 10-year passport ban for Nigerians convicted abroad. Now, the story has it and says, the Senate has moved to tighten passport laws by proposing a 10-year travel document ban on Nigerians convicted and deported from foreign countries. Now, the proposal, which passed its second reading yesterday, is contained in a bill to amend the Passport Miscellaneous Provisions Act in Cap P343 Laws of the Federations of Nigeria 2004. Sponsored by Senator Bello Sani Abubakar, APC Niger North, the measure seeks to deter criminality abroad and restore confidence in Nigeria's passport. Presenting the debate on behalf of the sponsor, Senator Mohammed Onawo said the amendment to effect the ban was aimed at redeeming Nigeria's battered image in the international community. Now, he said, if a Nigerian is convicted abroad, his passport should be withdrawn for 10 years. This is a deterrent and a signal that Nigeria will not condone criminal conduct that soils her image. Now, he lamented that crimes committed by some Nigerians overseas led to stricter visa regimes and discrimination against innocent citizens. Says the green passport is increasingly discounted. Its sovereign pride has been severely diminished. That is a national emergency, he says. Now, also, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, described the proposal as a bold corrective step, recalling a case in Dubai where robbers carried Nigerian passports but were later found out not to be Nigerians. Well, for this particular story, I think, yes, I agree with them because you cannot be holding a Nigerian passport and you'll go and be making a mess of the entire country. We already don't have a good reputation outside there, right? What is your ground in going to mess up your reputation as an individual of a nation? Doesn't make any sense. So, yes, if such thing is done, if you are ever caught in the web of criminality, they should hold that document because you actually don't deserve it in the first place. It doesn't make any sense. And for those, now look at what your actions have cost. Some people now take the Nigerian passports to commit crime when in actual sense they're not Nigerians, giving us a more elaborate bad name. It doesn't make any sense. Let's put a cap to it. And yes, I like this particular penalty. I hope it's passed into law. Moving on my second story of interest. It says World Bank dismisses Nigeria's single-digit inflation target. I mean, if you remember some weeks ago, I talked about this when our inflation dropped a little bit to about 20-something%. The Minister of Finance came and they told us, oh, we're targeting a single-digit inflation. And, it sounded like it was achievable. But now the World Bank is telling us that, forget about it, it's not working. Now, the story says the World Bank has said the federal government's ambition to achieve single-digit inflation in the short term is unrealistic, warning that Nigeria remains among a handful of African countries still grappling with high consumer price inflation. Now, in its latest Africa Pulse report released on Tuesday, the bank projected that Nigeria, alongside Angola, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, Sudan, Zambia, Sao Tome and Principe, and Zimbabwe, will continue to record double-digit inflation rates through 2025. Now, the reports revealed that while 37 of Africa's 47 economies are projected to maintain single-digit inflation by 2026, Nigeria remains an outlier due to persistent structural challenges, including currency depreciation, high food and energy prices, and supply bottlenecks that continue to fuel instability. Now, the development contradicts the projection, also undermines the federal government's optimism that its recent fiscal and monetary reforms, including the FX unification, fuel subsidy removal, and central bank's tightening measures, would quickly drive inflation down to single digits. Well, yeah, I remember when we spoke about this a few weeks ago, I said, you people, I think we're running too fast. That we're seeing that little decline does not mean that you think in a short period of time we're going to start doing one digit. No, there are things to put in place. Like the World Bank has already stated, we have structural challenges that we've not been able to settle. You can't skip A and move on to letter L. No, you have to put things in place for you to get the results you're looking for. Like I always say, you can't do things the same way and expect a different result. It's only a fool that does that. So instead of us projecting all of these things, I think we should calm down, put our house in order, and then the change we're looking for will come. Moving on to my last story of interest. This one says, Tinubu seeks National Assembly's nod to borrow $2.35 billion. This story, I don't know, because we're already in debt. But let's hear what they say. President Bola Tinubu has sought approval from the House of Reps to borrow $2.35 billion in external capital to finance parts of the 2025 budget deficit and refinance Nigeria's maturing Eurobonds. Tinubu's request was contained in a letter addressed to the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, and read on the floor of the Green Chambers on Tuesday. The president also wants the parliament to approve his plan to issue a $500 million debut sovereign sukuk in the international capital markets to fund infrastructure projects and diversify Nigeria's sources of financing. Excuse me. The president said the borrowing plan includes $1.23 billion provided for in the 2025 Appropriation Act to part finance the budget deficit and another $1.12 billion to refinance a Eurobond maturing on November 21st. I don't know what to say about this because I'm scared, right? We can't keep doing this as a nation. We really, really cannot keep doing this. Borrowing, anyway, do with this news what you like. We'll go on a short break now, and when we come back, we'll dive into our story of interest, our conversation for tonight. Don't go anywhere, stay with us.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, tonight's conversation is centered on integrity. You know, we're talking about the Science Minister's certificate forgery scandal. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear your insights on this. Remember, we're Nigerians, and it touches us because these are our supposed leaders, right? So you can join the conversation by sending me an SMS or WhatsApp to 0818-038-4663. Our phone lines are now open, and you can call us on 0702-500-7749 and also on 0701-4242-420. Let's hear what you have to say. Now, you see, the allegations against the Nigeria's former, I call him former now because he's resigned, yeah? The former Minister of Science, Uche Naji, has once again drawn national attention to the question of integrity in public office. Now, when a sitting minister is accused of forging academic and NYSC certificates, right, and both institutions involved already deny ever issuing it, it raises unfortunate, very uncomfortable questions about our vetting process, our leadership values, and even the depth of accountability in government beyond one man's scandal. This case touches something deeper: how public trust erodes when those appointed to serve are caught in webs of deceit. And it forces us to ask how many more of such cases, you know, are buried under what I would call political privileges. To help us unpack all of this, you know, the different dimensions of this story, I'm now being joined by Comrade Mark Adebayo, the National Convener, National Direction for Nigeria Movement. Good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much for having me. It's New Direction for Nigeria Movement.
New Direction for Nigeria Movement. Great. Thank you so much for the correction. Now, yes, looking at our former Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, this whole saga, right? What do you have to say about the credibility of, you know, the federal cabinet, those leading us?
Well, thank you so much. It's a testament to the rot of leadership in this country. It is that the kind of people who manage to get themselves into positions of authority in this country, and power in this country, and political and public positions in this country are never really morally upright. They are never politically sincere, and they are never, you know, in power or in government to do any good for the country. Because you see, you begin to wonder for how long, or how much is the whole total gamut of the benefit that has accrued to this man over the decades, claiming, you know, bandying about fake documents. So now they said a thief does not come but to steal, to kill, and to destroy, and that has been the story of Nigerian leaders since flag independence in 1960. That is why Nigeria has continued to crawl at 65. That is why the issue of competency and capability and the realm of leadership has been a deficit for this country. And that is why the economy is crumbling, and that is why the country is insecure, and that is why our educational system, our health and medical systems are collapsing, because there are incompetent people in power who parade qualifications that they do not merit, that they have not achieved. So that's what you see. Even, I mean, if you look down the line, I heard you trying to reel out the names of some people that have been caught in the web of this certificate scandal. But all the people you mentioned were able to escape through. Some of them are still in power, some of them are still in Senate now. Now, I remember clearly in 1999, the first Senate president, Evan Ewerem, his own came. Well, he was consumed by it. We saw Salisu Buhari, you know, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, his own came and he consumed him. Now, we have had somebody who became president for 8 years in this country without a certificate.
Yeah.
Without a certificate. The issue came up. Somebody said It got Buhari certificate got missing. The army got the army got it lost. Who says that? You are the owner of the certificate. How will you say you put it? Everybody has a copy. Everybody has a copy. I have a copy of all my certificates.
Yes.
I have a copy of all my certificates. So, and everywhere I've worked, they have records of my, photocopies of my certificates. So, I mean, that if I am around for president in this country, if despite being a lawyer, a qualified lawyer, only submitted his results to INEC. No issues, because that is the law. The least you can have is to have a WAEC or GC certificate, whether it's F9 parallel or not. Nobody says you must have A1 or anything. Just give it to. Just have. So, do you know what this thing does to me as a person? It makes me so happy that education is this precious that people have to steal it. People have to go and steal it because it is stealing by trick, where you present fake credentials to get an appointment, to get a job, to get into anything. So it is so precious, and I just wonder, in these people growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, I wonder what they are doing, because education was very cheap then. I wonder what they were doing with their time that they couldn't go to school. No, education was so cheap, and some of these people are from privileged homes. So they sent them to school, they went there and be playing, and to all intents and purposes, this what's his name, the middle past Minister of Science and Technology actually got a formal admission into UNN.
Yes, he
and
did.
He was there for the whole duration of his course. Somewhere along the line, the man disappeared from the university. Only God knows where he jackpot to. Maybe he jackpot or something. And then he just assumed, after all, I've been 4 years in the place, I've completed years. No, you have not completed when you have not fulfilled all righteousness in terms of academic performances, attending classes, submitting your tutorials, and sitting for your final papers and being graded, and then the Senate approving your result and putting your name on the list of graduating students for that year. That is when many people attend university. You can attend university without, but if you can attend social school, attend social school, you may not graduate. There's no crime about that. He could have put it there that I attended UNN from year so to year so, certificate issues, nil. NY certificate, nil. They will just say, I mean, it's simple. He will not. That is if his wife's certificate is not fake. You understand? Now, what do you expect a minister to do? You are serving under, and before you know it, they will run to court for court to stop anybody from issuing anything about them.
He did that. He did that.
Our current president, he learned the ropes from the president, who said CSU should not release his own certificate or report or anything that has to do with him, because it will do him a terrible damage. Like that. Look, anybody that wants my certificate, they don't need to go to Freedom of Information Act. I will just publish everything by myself. If I have nothing to hide.
Let me ask you this. Because, first of all, I want to commend Premium Times newspaper, because they were the ones that started investigating this case from 2023 when he was brought into power, right? So the tenacity to actually follow through, it's been 2 years, right? And they found out that what they were actually chasing was, as a matter of fact, right. Okay? So, yes, kudos to them. But now, does this not reveal the gaps in Nigeria's vetting system for political appointees? Does it not show the lapses that we have in this system? And if so, how can we close these gaps? Because, I mean, this is embarrassing on the global stage.
That is why, you see, this tells you why Nigeria is failing. This tells you why the country as a nation is failing. Now, these people that are appointed into government, as ministers or whatever, they also, aside from Senate, question and answer sessions, they also go through what is called security vetting. They go through security report. So it tells you that the DSS and other security agencies that are supposed to vet these people to understand who they are, to really unveil who they are, don't do their jobs. All they do is that once they submit the file, they just throw the file somewhere. Nobody is doing any vetting. Kudos kudos to the Nigerian media.
Yes.
It has been the Nigerian media, everybody that has been exposed
It's a win.
in
It's a
terms of
win for the
certificate
Nigerian
scandal
media,
in
really.
this country.
Yes.
It is the media that have done their investigative journalism to expose these people. It is
Yes.
not any government agency. It's not any government security agencies or the people that are supposed to carry out their oversight in the area of vetting the people that are going to superintend over Nigeria, and then they bring in people who are technically speaking, who are criminals, who are thieves, that have stolen certificates, and they are parading fake certificates all over the place. So that is the thing. You know, why would we have anybody in power or anybody in office that for the first time in this country? I mean, for all intents and purposes, up to now, there's controversy. There's controversy allegedly, even regarding the parentage of our president. There are still controversies even regarding the state of origin, the town of origin of the current president. Up to today, it is alleged that the only genuine certificate that is why the president, when he went to collect INEX form, the only certificate to put in there was the one he took from Chicago State University. What of the secondary school? I mean, you don't jump to the university. What of the intermediate schools and certificate that qualified him to enter
the university,
Chicago State University? Now we are seeing where they put the gender, they put F there, meaning female. I mean, they say it's typographical error.
It's so
we have
bad.
the president in this country.
It's so bad.
We have the president in this country that he ran on what supposedly was a NEPA bill for his certificate. And now somehow they do it, they do a wuru to the answer and went and collected what they call, that's the first time I'm hearing that, attestation letter from WAEC for somebody that's supposed to be the president of the most populous black nation on earth. Hey, yeah? How low can we go as a country? How down can we go as a country?
You know, Mr. Adebayo.
Now, with this kind of situation, yes?
Yeah, so sorry to butt in. You know, I saw the press release that the special advisor to the president on media and communications, Bayo Onanuga, released on X, you know, regarding the president receiving the resignation of Uche Naji, right? And it was very colorful. It was very flowery. And at the end of the statement, it said the president thanks him for his service, something like that. I'm paraphrasing now. And so I'm wondering, because what this guy has done could be termed fraud, except I stand to be corrected, right? I can call it fraud. So does it mean that the government cannot initiate, you know, criminal proceedings even after he resigns? Or does it mean his resignation ends any sort of liability? So we cannot follow this through, you know? What does it really mean for us?
I mean, what that tells you is the fact that people can get away with any kind of criminality in this country. Are we not in this country? That's why we have been shouting and clamoring for a new direction in this country. There must be a new direction. In our leadership recruitment processes, there must be a new direction. In terms of the way we elect our leaders into offices, there must be a new direction. There must be a new way of thinking. We must begin to look for a new direction away from the current rot of leadership, from the current backwardness in terms of leadership, from the current, instability leadership. We must be able to, Nigerians must be able to come up with we must follow a new direction. We must not follow the way we have been going. We need to insist on getting the best among the rest to superintend over this country. And that is why from 2027, we must do our own vetting of whoever is coming in partnership, in close partnership with the Nigerian media that have been doing wonderful, honorous job of exposing these people. Unfortunately, it is when they have been in power, enjoyed the pass of office for 2 years, for 3 years, but before these things get eventually done. Kudos to Premium Times, because I can imagine the kind of intimidation they have gone through in terms of attempt to even compromise the process with some millions of dollars or something. I'm sure they resisted all of that and made sure that justice was served. So there must be new direction. You understand? We cannot continue. These people, you don't expect, for instance, an armed robber to try and arm robber. Because many people, their own will still come. Because all of them are in the same, they are in the same pot of soup.
I
so
know.
they have they have the back. If they had their way, this guy will not resign. He will still be in government. In fact, he will go to Igbo State or where he's from and contest for governorship in 2027, and he's still going to win. Is it not in this country that we saw someone who came number 4 in governorship election and is now the governor of the state? Is it not in this country that we had the president that didn't have any certificate, any paper? People said he presented NEPA bill. And what happened? 8 years in government this country. Is it not in this country that we have Senate presidents? Is it not in this country that we have fake lawyers? Is it not in this country that we have fake professors? I mean, so it's a whole gamut. It's a whole gamut of the disastrous outcome of imponderables when it comes to it. That is why are we shocked? Are we surprised that insecurity is burgeoning? That's the fact that we have the army, we have the police, we have the DSS, we have the DIA, we have the NIA, we have what do you call it? Civil defense. We have all manner of people with arms and weapons, and yet now you cannot expect anybody to try this man, to sue this man, to arrest this man and prosecute him for deceiving Nigerians and being a minister and enjoying the authority and the parts of office as a minister. Because look at 4 years ago, the UAE arrested sponsors of terrorism in this country and submitted a list to the Nigerian government and said, look, we have arrested these ones in our country. They are the ones sponsoring terrorism in your country. But this list, this whole list of about 400 people, they are in your country. They are in your government. They are which big man in this country have you seen that been arrested and taken to court? Now, a former intelligence officer, a senior officer, a commodore in the Nigerian military, came out to say, look, they submitted a list of 400 big people. Some of them are ministers, some of them are senators. In fact, as Aditari was saying, it was during the administration of General Muhammadu Buhari, late General Muhammadu Buhari, and he said in Aso Rock that sponsors of Boko Haram are in Aso Rock. To date, nobody has been arrested among all these billionaire businessmen and politicians and taken to court. And the man said it is not the gallant soldiers, our patriotic soldiers who are fighting in the bushes. It is not about the kinetic. It is about, attacking the center of gravity of insecurity in this country by arresting and prosecuting the big men who are sitting in the corridors of power and at the centers of power and are sponsoring insecurity in this country. Once we get those ones out of the way, insecurity will go down. Today, those who are giving, addresses who are giving, people are not, they are not in court. Is it these same people, set of people, that you now say they should go and arrest somebody and prosecute him for certificate forgery? It's kind of unfortunate. The enemies of Nigeria, I want to make this point. The enemies of Nigeria are the ones who have been in power and be governing us. It's time for a new direction. Okay. But
we still have some things to unravel, particularly, with regards to this topic. But we're going to go on a short break, very short break. And when we come back, we continue. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. We're still talking about the integrity of those in the federal cabinet, and we're spotlighting our dearest former minister, Uche Naji, and the scandal of his forged certificates and all of that. And I have Mr. Mark Adebayo here with me having a conversation. Mr. Mark, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm with you.
So
live and direct.
I had the liberty of looking at some things he said, the statement he released following his resignation. That's Uche Naji now. And something struck me. This man said that he's not resigning out of anything. He's just, just resign after deep reflection. That's the way he put it. After deep reflection, his resignation is not his admission of guilt, and that history rather, would vindicate him. And I'm thinking, so you haven't even accepted that you did something wrong, even though the institutions in question have, confirmed that we didn't give you certificates. We can't find you on the records. So it brings me to the question of integrity, right? The prerequisites for public office in Nigeria now, has it moved from, I don't know what it is it competence? Is it character? What exactly? Where do we stand right now? Because it's very hard to decide.
You see, character, integrity, morality, uprightness, patriotism, incorruptibility, all these elements are absolutely absent within the Nigerian cliques, the Nigerian ruling cliques. So, and the Nigerian ruling cliques have a way of romanticizing and beautifying criminality. So it's not even seen as a big deal. That's why he's talking all these things he's talking. I mean, if you attended a university and the university is saying that, look, yes, you came in, but we didn't know when you left. I mean, that's just the long and short of it. But you see, in the Nigerian ruling clique, it's among them that you go to UK and escape wearing a woman's robe, and come back to the country. We have just been unfortunate. Nigeria has been unfortunate to put in the worst of us in power. That is why we are saying that, look, if from flag independence to date, we are here to get it right. If we have people in power whose origin is in question, whose education is in question, even whose health is in question. Why do we expect us as a country to move the way we should move, to move in the right direction that we are supposed to move? No, it's not possible. We have people of questionable character. We have people of questionable integrity in this country. And that is why, it's so difficult for the country to move forward, because people are claiming to be who they are not. And somehow, only God knows, somehow, there are some imponderables that are yet to be unraveled in this country. Somehow they get themselves into very powerful positions in this country. And they get there, they ingratiate themselves with the position, and they begin to terrorize the rest of us. And their incompetencies begin to show. By the way, look at the epileptic power supply. Look at our terrible rules. Look at the state of insecurity. We look at the degrading state of the economy. The people in power, their integrity has disintegrated, significantly disintegrated. They don't have anything that you call integrity, because they don't really care about us. As Michael Jackson sang, of blessed memory sang that. They don't really care about us. It's only about them, their cronies, their families, their pockets, their bank accounts. And
okay.
Now, how many Nigerian politicians today in power, or who are in power, are able to justify their financial and material possessions now? Having private jets, having universities all over the place, having five-star hotels all over the country and even outside the country. And what did they become? Who are they? They were former governors, former ministers, even former chairmen of local government, former presidents.
Well, so
these people,
in this, I mean, we've spoken at length about this. So let's talk solutions, right? What systems can, institutions like, the universities, NYSC itself as a body, what can they do to strengthen, their database to avoid future forgeries of discharge certificates? Because at the end of the day, this thing must have looked authentic. You know what I mean? Must have looked authentic enough to scale, these places. So what can they do to strengthen these databases? Because I believe the people even aiding the forgery are in the system, right? What can be done? Let's speak solutions now.
I don't think it's much a responsibility of the university. They cannot copy it. Anybody can come out and claim that he went to LSE, for instance, London School of Economics. Anybody can come out and say he went to Ahmadu Bello University. Sorry, anybody can come out and say he attended University of Lagos. So the universities cannot prevent or stop people from lying about their academic credentials. Yeah. The only thing we can that the universities should do is for them to employ and apply technology. without going through, I don't have to write through freedom of information, this thing that will take 2 years. That will take 2 years. Since 2023 that Premium Times has been pursuing this thing, it's just coming to conclusion now. I want to sit in the comfort of my room, go to the university website and type 1997 graduates in the Department of Microbiology, show them, bam, and it props up on my system. So if it's not there, it means you are never there. So they should just apply technologies to some of these things. That even wherever you are being processed for either appointment or anything, the people, the company, the institution, the agency that is about to employ you, they look at your CV and they just begin to punch in the numbers and the lines, and your name props up. They say, oh, they confirm 1975, he attended this and that, all the information you need. Okay, it's Ahmadu Bello University, the Department of Law, Faculty of Law, 1975, so name, pam, pam. It comes out, your matric number, or they just submit your matric number, punch it on the website, and everything about you pops up. Simple. That is what our universities should consider doing, both public and private. Once you do that, I don't need to write a long application, petition, Federal Freedom of Information. Before I'm there for 2-3 years, you don't answer me, and the rest of that, I go to court to force you to give me. No. Go technology. Simply, let's let technology solve this matter for us.
Speaking of, I think I agree, because I think at some point I misplaced my WAEC results, right? So, but I was really frantic. I went to their office, the demands were a lot, until I found out that, oh, I could actually go on their website and just impute, my registration number. And I did that, and I got it just came out, and it was really beautiful to see, and I really commended them for doing that. So I think the schools should also adopt that.
Excuse me, your own was not attestation, though, Abi. The real deal. You got the real deal.
It was the real thing, yes.
Not to whom it may concern.
No, it wasn't.
It was not to whom it may concern.
I mean, he had all the WAEC seal, he had everything. It was complete, and you could just download it from their website to your mail. Yeah.
So not attestation written by somebody who was not yet born by the time somebody said he left school in 1950 something. The person that wrote and signed the attestation letter was not born when that person went to school. You went there, you say clean. Nobody will come after you. You went to school, you are the real deal. No be attestation now. No be to him to be concerned. God bless you.
All right, Mr. Adebayo.
I mean, this thing is not difficult.
What message now does this send to students, who are really working hard for their degrees? When their leaders appear to be falsifying theirs and getting away with it. Because to go to school is not easy. It's really not. You're reading, you're burning midnight candles. What message is this supposed to send?
My sister, nothing good, nothing useful, valuable is easy to obtain. If people don't go school, let them come and say, I don't go school. Nobody will kill you for that. Many of these people are mere what we call functional illiterates. They are functional illiterates because they can read and write, and because they have some modicum of some flashes of intellectual knowledge. They can have bamboozle people, especially if they are able to speak good English. Nobody will even doubt their university certificates. No, the thing is that education may not be easy, but it's not a scam. So the people that think education is a scam are the people that have been caught in the business of scam because they are forging certificates and they are committing perjury that is a criminal offense under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. And they must be prosecuted. And if they are not prosecuted, the government and the security agencies that are supposed to do that, the DSS and the police, are also culpable. They are culpable, they are criminals. And that is why our organization will consider going to court to compel the Inspector General of Police to go and arrest Mr. Energy and prosecute him for criminal perjury and for him to face the consequences. If your government will not do it, we will apply for an order of mandamus to be able to prosecute this man, and make sure that because you see, we need to begin to make a sample of people.
Right.
The Constitution does not impose you be a PhD or a graduate for you to occupy public. Just have small WAEC. Whether it's F9 parallel, no wahala. Nobody has, it's there. We have to just take it there, let it be authentic. It does not matter whether it's F9 parallel. So you see that education now, it is something to be proud of if you have it.
Right.
Because even the high and mighty are stealing it, even the high and mighty are forging it, even the high and mighty are pretending to be educated when they are just mere functional illiterates. So you be proud of whatever certificate you have that is genuine, that is authentic, that
Yeah.
you can that they can flash, you can carry all over the place without anybody disturbing. Yeah. Immediately the media begins to investigate somebody about for certificates forgery. My sister, just know that the outcome is predictable because there is no fire without smoke. Once they begin to pursue somebody with regard to certificates, the end is predictable. Some people, they may wriggle out of it, they may, I don't know, but the truth remains the truth. For me, I'm still interested in seeing the qualification of our president that made him to go and study at CSU. Primary school, our lawyer, they said it was non-existent. Secondary school, Ibadan Grammar School, Abi, they said he never went there. But he managed to get to the Chicago State University. Gender,
He managed
female.
to get
Okay.
abroad.
So to study, he was. They said he was among their best students. Fine, no controversy. I have no issue with his. In fact, there's no issue with his CSU certificate. But how did he
Get there.
what qualified him? What certificate qualified him to enter that place? That still remains a subject of speculation.
So just before I
The
let you go,
president
sir.
has a lot of baggage.
Just
Is
before
that?
just before I let you go. So do you think
Okay,
going
thank you.
forward, right? What can we do to verify these credentials for political appointees and senior civil servants? What can we do now? I mean, you're already saying your organization, you're going to look into prosecuting Uche Naji. That's commendable. But moving forward, because 2027 is coming, and from 2026, in fact, from now, we're already seeing them acting up and all of that. Meanwhile, I just saw the acting INEC chairman that has taken over from Yakubu Abamuche. What processes of verification were taken? What can we do so that we can reduce these things, if not eradicate them completely?
Well, Mr. Gamuche has been rising through the ranks. Mr. Gamuche is probably the most experienced INEC national officer. That how I wish he could be confirmed as the INEC chairman because
herself.
we have been advocating that yes, let substantive one because he has been there for probably
She
more than
has
20
really
years. I don't
good
know.
she has really good
there.
documents, really good credentials.
Well, I won't be able to say that, but as per her competency and capacity and the way the woman carries herself with professionalism, she's someone, and she's the kind of person that nobody can push around. And that's the only thing that can disqualify her from being confirmed as substantive, because she's not somebody that somebody can push around and say, hey, no. She will just maintain the organizational discipline and the constitutionalism of the act that set up INEC. And the current core of rulers will not be able to tolerate somebody who would be an independent chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The only thing that can just qualify that woman is that the fact that I do not have any doubts concerning with regards to her capacities, capabilities, and credentials. But the fact that she will not be somebody who is amenable to being pushed around or to satisfy the chagrins of the powers that be. That is the only thing that can disqualify her. And we have been advocating that let INEC, the INEC chairman or leaders emerge from the civil service, emerge from the most senior as they are gathering experience over the year, as they are getting them and when it not reaches the age of retirement or you have served 2 terms of 10 years, or like they do in the university, the next most senior person in INEC to take over. It does not matter his or her ethnicity, his or her religion, his or her gender. Let them emerge as a natural cause of civil service, advancement in career. That will remove, and then we must remove the power and the authority of the president to appoint the INEC chairman, because you cannot have two teams playing in the match,
Yeah.
and you are now allow one team to now pick the referee. Now, it means that that particular match has been pre-rigged to favor the president that picks the referee. That is the system that obtains now, and that is what we have to change. We have to change it. And before we appoint anybody or elect anybody into office, it must have all these clearances. There should not be doubt. It is not when somebody has been governor for 2 years who has stolen billions of naira that you know, oh, he was not qualified, and then you go to court and you get him off the seat when he has stolen billions already. That's why, you know, they will even use the money they have stolen to fight back against whoever is looking for justice to be obtained.
Anyway,
but
yeah,
you in the media, you the media, please continue to do your good work, helping Nigerians to expose these people who are in power. There must be new direction. Come 2027, let us face new directions. Let us stop all the recycling of these old cargoes, and then let us look in a totally new direction for new, you know, let's go in a new way totally, from especially in electing the president. If you have a good leader, a competent leader, a patriotic leader, a truthful leader, a leader who has integrity flowing in his blood, all these problems you are seeing, all these fake risks you are seeing will disappear overnight, because it is not rocket science to fix this country, economically, politically, and socially.
Thank you, Mr. Adebayo.
New direction.
And regarding the INEC, you know, this adage came to mind. It says, he who pays the piper dictates the
piper
tune.
Dictates the tune.
Yeah, so
you have to take that power.
Sadly, that's what happens with the INEC. But thank you so much for your brilliant insights in this conversation. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. But we hope to bring you back for more conversations like this. Have a good evening, sir. All right, so we see public office is, you know, a sacred trust. And when leaders present credentials, Nigerians deserve to know they are genuine. Now, for a minister, especially one overseeing science and technology, integrity is not an optional. It's essential. The scandal goes beyond his failure. It's a test of our institutions, the Senate, the universities, judiciary, presidency. You know, will Nigeria keep tolerating fake titles or finally demand credibility from those in power? All of them, really. A resignation is only the beginning, not accountability. And it shouldn't stop there. The truth must be exposed and systems strengthened, you know, so no one can rise on forged foundations. Because if our leaders build on lies, how can the nation really stand on truth? I mean, it's not rocket science, like my guest said. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. And if you missed my quote earlier, here it is. It says, leadership is not about titles or positions. It's about truth, trust, and responsibilities. Please ensure you're following us on all social media platforms. Go on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to our channels, it's Official Upgrade TV. And this has been Ways Prime Time. My name is Choma Kalu. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.